Hello, my little whiskey barrels. It's Carla, and I'm here today in my kitchen to celebrate something I love, which is bourbon whiskey. So today I am making two amazing bourbon drinks. The first is a very classic whiskey sour, and then I am going to go into a hazelnut coffee bourbon-tini, which I invented with a little help from a friend. But before I can show you either one of those cocktails, I am going to make tingly sweet and sour snacking peanuts, because I was told quite clearly that I could not make a video with 3 cocktails without having a food recipe. So some people make drinks to go with their snack mix. I have come up with a snack mix to go with these 2 delicious drinks. So strap in, we're gonna get a little loaded and we're gonna have some snacks. This episode is sponsored by Masterclass. You can use Masterclass to learn more about just about any topic you want to dive into, and it may come as no surprise that I think their culinary courses are particularly impressive. You can learn from professionals like Gabriella Camara, Alice Waters, and Mashima Bailey. Gabriella Camara's episodes on tortilla making help me figure out how to judge the look and feel when making tortillas at home, and she has inspired me to start adding lettuces to all of my blended salsa verdes. Even if I personally am not ready to start nixtamalizing my corn at home, you do get to watch her do it. And now I understand how to judge the dough when I'm buying fresh masa that somebody else has made. And I am also training my fingertips for flipping. On the sweet side of the spectrum, you can learn to up your pastry game with professionals like Dominique Ansel, inventor of the cronut, and Joanne Chang. Whether you're interested in making the perfect tortilla like me, you want to bake the flakiest pastry that you've ever made in your life, or you just want to get into some basics and master your knife techniques, Masterclass has a course for that. Outside of the food categories, for me personally, I am dying to take the voice acting class with Nancy Cartwright. That is my absolute dream job. Dog training with Brandon McMillan, because Margie could still use a little bit of polishing. Obviously, I'm going to stay up extra late to take the sleep science course. If the voice acting doesn't work out, I'm also prepping for my alternate career as an investigative journalist with none other than Bob Woodward. Maybe you've heard of him. The collection of experts on Masterclass is truly impressive and amazing. You will recognize so many names, and all of these professionals cross disciplines. Plans on Masterclass start at $10 a month, billed annually. Don't need to be an expert to know that's a good deal. I have some drinks and snacks to get back to. Thank you, Masterclass, for sponsoring this episode. So what I love about bourbon is that it's like rich, it's a little spicy, it's aromatic, it's like wood fire, it's like caramel, it's all of these delicious like roasty, toasty, maple, grown-up fire leaf pile energy. And what I wanted to pair with that, the first thing I thought about was red skin peanuts, and I'll be honest, the reason I thought about red skin peanuts was because I had some in the freezer, and then like bourbon and peanuts, just like that goes together. And then I wanted to go further on like burning pile of leaves situation and the way that you get kind of buzzed from the bourbon. And so of course I thought about Szechuan peppercorns, which are numbing and tingly, do the mala thing on your palate where you get the sensation of like a little buzzing, tingly numbness. And so that kind of grounded everything. It was like, I've got the peanuts, I've got the mala, heat, numb, tingly, buzzy, prickly, warm up the back of your spine sensation. So that was everything, and everything that happens after happened because of that. So everything that happened because of bourbon and because I love bourbon whiskey, period. So then with Szechuan peppercorns, classic combos, if you went like to a cumin lamb place, there would be star anise and there would be cumin. So there's star anise and there's cumin. So none of my star anise are in like actual pods anymore. So I'm doing 5 petals. If you have intact star anise, just break them off. Star anise, notoriously brittle and difficult to smash up in a mortar and pestle, so I recommend a spice grinder for this. Do I have a spice grinder? No, mine broke the other day. I haven't replaced it. So continuing on our cumin lamb, roasty, tingly, buzzing, peanut situation, some cumin. So like, there's spice nuts. There's plenty of spice nuts in the world, and people love a spice nut at the holidays. So this is a spice nut where I didn't want to do conventional spices, and I wanted it to be delicious with my whiskey. So salt here going into the mortar and pestle. So the reason I'm adding the salt into my mortar and pestle is it'll help with the abrading, and it'll get the salt like really fine, but really the salt's gonna help me break down the peppercorn and the star anise. And the cumin. I think a shirabachi type of mortar and pestle like I'm using is good if you have the choice between this one and a smooth one because of the grooves. It's just like more grinding power. It smells really great. It smells very warming. And even though the Sichuan peppercorn, it's actually a berry. It's not even a peppercorn, but this like, I would only know that because I worked in food media where the research department loved to like tell you that it wasn't actually peppercorn. It's not that spicy. It like has the sensation of spiciness because it activates your palate in a certain way, but it's not like hot heat. So in addition to these fruits or berries, I'm gonna use some whole dried chilies. So those are coming later. And that way it's like, it's got it all. Looking pretty good. All right, so this is the base of our spices. And to this, I'm gonna add sugar in the raw, which again, kind of going with that like more molassesy, dark brown sugar, as opposed to a white sugar is like more in bourbon energy. You could use light brown sugar instead of sugar in the raw. And my great friend, MSG, which just makes everything more delicious, especially something with a lot of like other spices going on. Just mix this all together. So this will all get added to the rest of the solids. So I'm just gonna keep it together forever. So now you need like a pretty big bowl, big enough to hold 4 or 5 cups worth of things. And I chose to use egg whites and to froth the egg whites for this. Egg whites in a mix like this, similar to like, sometimes you see it in granola recipes, and the reason egg white is added is because it just helps form those like clusters. And I wanted that. I wanted like the nuts and the coconut and the crackers and everything to kind of like create clusters, because that's kind of part of the fun of a snack mix. So that's why there's egg whites. They're not doing anything except creating this like light kind of glue that's gonna hold all the spices together. If you don't eat eggs, or you wanna be like allergen sensitive at your bourbon festival, then omit them. You're gonna add a couple tablespoons of oil instead to get everything like lubricated, and you will get more of a piecey texture than a clustery texture. Before adding anything here, I just have to froth up the egg whites so that they coat and don't like do goopy. So I'm just gonna whip them until frothy. They should look light and opaque. So nice and frothy, nice and light. Everything's gonna go right into the bowl. 1 cup of coconut flakes, make sure they're unsweetened and you want the big pieces. 2 cups of peanuts. If you can't find red skin peanuts, just use whole peanuts. Those go in. As if Triscuits weren't fantastic enough in this world, the fact that there's mini Triscuits is like such a joy. Because have you ever seen a freaking cuter cracker in your entire life? Look at them. They're proportionally just a shrunken Triscuit. And as far as like texture, saltiness, interest, beauty. Nothing beats a Triscuit. I'm obsessed with them, especially with butter. Okay, so this is an 8-ounce box, right? Yep. And I want 4 ounces. It would have been great to give you this in cup measurements. Let's try to figure it out. We'll do it live. It's gonna be 2 cups. It's about 2 cups. 2 scant cups. Okay, I'm gonna fold this together to coat. And then once everything has like a kiss of egg white, I'm gonna add the entire spice mixture. And the egg white's just gonna help the spice mixture adhere to the ingredients. And it's also going to help the ingredients adhere to each other. Those egg whites are doing work. My oven is already at 375, so that's preheating. Now that this is mixed together, I'm going to add some crushed up ramen, because you can crunch on ramen. It doesn't matter what flavor you buy, because I'm going to use them without the packet. And then I'm just going to work right over the bowl. And I want to break the ramen noodles into like half-inch pieces. Some of them are going to get really bitsy, but like this is one of the really fun textures in here. So I'm going to keep them like kind of big. Because like a Chex Mix or a snack mix, it's all about like rooting around for your favorite thing, whether it's the rye cracker or the crunchy Cheeto. Like, I don't know, the bugle, it could be a lot of things. In this mix, the little ramen noodles are really fun to go journeying for. That's the size you're going for. Okay, I'll fold these guys in. All right, everything is seasoned. Everything has like sticky egg white glue. Now, I'm using this style casserole dish because it fits in my toaster oven, which is what I want to use. Grease it down with just a little bit of neutral oil. There's a good amount of sugar in this. It's half a cup of sugar. So as it bakes, it's going to caramelize and it's going to get pretty sticky. So this is just going to make it easier to release later. And then everything just dumps out. I made this a few times, and all of the times until the last time, I put the whole red chilies in at the same time as everything else. They really had a tendency to burn, but they're kind of fun to nibble on, so they're gonna go in halfway through. Everything else is ready now. All right, so they're gonna go into an oven. I'm gonna set the timer for like 10 minutes, open it up, give it a stir, add the chilies, close it up, stir it again, and then we'll double check. It should take 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, so 10 minutes in, this top is already nicely browning. You'll see the underneath is like still steamy and kind of wet. The spices smell really great though. So like things are happening. If you're using a metal rimmed baking sheet, things might happen even faster because the walls are lower, things are gonna be more spread out, a little less insulated. So just keep that in mind. You're not like going for a walk in the park while this is in the oven. And now I have these really beautiful whole red chilies. These are from Fly by Jing, amazing company. You've probably seen their products around. They're medium spicy, super aromatic, and kind of like a dramatic, large shape. So I think they're really fun to use. I think there's other chilies that would fit the bill here. But just look for something that is medium spicy and red and has nice aroma, but you can definitely get these exact ones. And I'm intentionally not crushing them and breaking them open because the aroma and the essence and their like chili energy is gonna perfume everything. But then it would be up to party goers, like who wants to be an extreme snacker and who doesn't. And it could end up being a fun party trick. So I'm gonna get the chilies in, kind of put them in a little blankie, get it covered up. This guy really has to go downtown.
Go for it.
Mm-hmm. Roasty, toasty, spicy, the like pepperiness of it. It's so like, it just smells very warming, very delicious. And as this cools, it'll crisp up even more. So while it's still warm, the last thing that's missing is like just some brightness. So like a snacking peanut where it's like got lime juice squeezed all over it. So I'm gonna put a bunch of lime zest on it while it's warm. So lime zest goes in, it's gonna get activated, it's gonna warm up. Some sizzling happening. And then I'm gonna use the actual lime juice. This is where some of that sour flavor is gonna come from that makes them like sweet and sour. You can hear that sizzling. So if your limes are really small like this, use 2. If they're regular, use 1. So I'm gonna toss that through. So I just took something toasty and dry and crispy, and I got it wet. So now it has to go back in the oven just to evaporate the rest of this lime juice. And that takes 3 minutes, same thing at 350. Everyone, welcome to the stage, our good friend and food stylist, Alivia Bloch. Quiet applause. Woo, yeah, woo. Alivia and I are going to make a couple of drinks together, and they're going to be amazing. So what we've decided is that the hazelnut coffee bourbon-tini, which is my added value take on an espresso martini,
right,
is going to be in your hands.
Yes.
Olivia.
Yes.
Tell me your comfort with making cocktails on a scale of 1 to 10.
Kind of like a 2.
Okay. What do we drink at home?
Wine.
Wine. And
Yeah.
if anybody wants a mixed
And then
drink?
sometimes like a little like seltzer with like a little bitters and like this yellow drink that I like. It's like it's made out of flowers. It's
Okay,
it's literally
elderflower?
Genepi flowers.
Oh, lovely.
It's like, some botanical thing.
Okay, so we can
That's all I
put
do.
together a spritz, but we're not like shaking and we're not thinging. Okay, great. This is great because what you're going to do is a drink inspired by me in my like, I don't want to say weakest moments, but like in some of my most like crazy moments of my life, the thing that I want is an iced hazelnut coffee.
Right.
Or a hazelnut iced coffee. And so I love that. And so that's
Like in the middle of the day.
Yeah, this would come up for me mostly in the scenario of like corporate cafeteria.
Corporate America Carla.
Corporate Conde Carla would go to the caf and they let you self-serve your espresso, and they had the the thingies with the pumps.
Was it like a bad day or a good day?
It was a way to turn a bad day into a good day.
Right.
It was like that kind of a day. So, and like...
It would turn my day into a bad day, I think, honestly.
I guess it's all relative. Like, would it have been worse? Like, it still might have a headache.
I'm afraid of those pumps.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you're going to use the Basil Hayden bourbon.
Right.
And this is a jigger.
Yes.
2 ounces, 1 ounce. So, you're going to start with 2 ounces of...
Basil
bourbon, Basil Hayden bourbon. What a great sound. And then you're just gonna like flip that right into there. Great. And now 1 ounce of Frangelico, which is so good.
Wow.
So this is also, it's also weirdly like, I don't know why, but it's like Kahlua and cream kind of adjacent, or like Black Russian, which is also a drink that I used to drink.
I like coffee alcohol drinks. I just don't know how to make them.
Yeah, so instead of having coffee alcohol, we have the hazelnut alcohol and actual cold brew.
Right.
So
This is gonna go hard.
It goes hard.
In other words.
So you're gonna take that cold brew, And this is just black cold brew.
1 ounce.
1 ounce. If you have like some strong coffee in the house, use that. If you have an espresso machine in the house, use that 1 ounce. It's gorgeous and fantastic. Now you're gonna do a bar spoon of maple syrup.
That just means this?
Yep.
Okay.
And we love maple with bourbon. We love maple with coffee. It's all good. Gorge. And it gave it a little body. The other person who helped me with this drink is our good friend of the show, trainer Ross Twanmo, who used to work in bars and helped me R&D. And then a few dashes of Peychaud. And then just a pinch of flaky. Okay. Which is just yummy. Again, there's
Why
like
not?
sweet things and nutty things. Okay. And I'm going to give you some ice. So this is not a shaken drink. This is stirred. And what's going to happen with the stirring is going to be beautiful chilling, but not aerating.
Yes.
And so we're going to have all the gorgeous color of our bourbon and our Frangelico and the coffee like preserved. So
yeah, we don't want to like aggravate this.
No. And we don't need to like have ice chips in it. My drink, on the other hand, is the drink that I drink as soon as the season changes and we become like Thanksgiving in the air or in the brain. Classic whiskey sour. And whenever I go to a bar and I ask for a whiskey sour, I like it with bourbon or Racca. Keep stirring.
We're kind of on different pages though. Like you're doing a whiskey sour and I'm doing a bourbon teeny.
Yeah.
But we're going to drink them together.
Right. You're going to just be that.
I'm going out after this.
Okay. I'm not, but.
So that's why I'm doing the bourbon teeny.
Because you have to go hard.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so my whiskey sour, whenever I go to a bar and I ask for a whiskey sour, if it's a good bar, if it's a bar where I'm going to be pleased, they're going to say, do you want it with egg white or without? I love it with egg white. Not everybody does. So I'm going to make it with the egg white, and then at home you can do whatever. So you don't have to do this part. If you do the egg white, you're going to do a dry shake, okay? So is this frosty? You're getting there.
Really cold.
And I'm using 4 Roses, which I actually really love in a mixed drink scenario like this when I'm mixing with citrus. And I'm going 2 ounces.
Gorgeous.
1 ounce.
I don't know when to stop stirring.
Well, I mean, honestly, I could let you stop.
Okay.
But now the ice is in there.
Yeah.
We're not going to stop quite yet. Okay. So 2 bourbon, 1 lemon, 1 simple, and 1 egg white. I asked Ross if I could use like less than 1 egg white because it just felt like a lot, and he was like,
no.
He said no.
How could you separate an egg white? That'd be
so annoying.
That'd be so weird.
100%. Okay. The last time I did this, I think my simple syrup was a little warm, and the shaker like exploded on me, and I couldn't figure it out.
Oh no.
And then Ross said, "Was the top on right?"
Oh.
See? Yeah, the top was on right. I don't know. It's not warm now. Something's going on. Anywho, it's fine. It's great. We were ready for that. It's super frothy. So now I'm going to add my ice. Okay, so your ice, you're going to unmold that. The bourbon teeny, you could serve it up, or you could serve it in a rocks glass with a rock. And that's what you're doing. Because mine is going to be, because mine's going to be up just for funsies. So there you go. Look at that. I used boiling water to make the ice. Let me shake my guy.
Are you scared?
I mean, slightly.
You don't want to get it all over your blouse.
No. Or you. Okay.
Yum.
So you're doing fantastic.
All right, so I'm just going to go.
So we're going to pour.
Bam.
Also, I gave Alivia my very fancy
I got the nice glass.
Polo Ralph Lauren crystal rocks glass that I got from going to an event. Oh, Lord. Okay, so I have my nice frothy whiskey sour. You have a delicious hazelnut coffee bourbon teeny.
Gorgeous.
And like, happy holidays to
holidays. You. What holiday?
All of them.
I don't know. Oh, I love it so much. How's that?
Yum. It's giving Carla Barla Garla corporate America, but, you know, with alcohol.
Right.
Which is corporate.
That is true.
But it has, like, some lightness. It's not too caramely. You know, the ice is really taking the edge off.
Yeah.
I think the ice is important.
So the stirring for dilution and for chilling is key. Here, do you want to try this one?
I do.
Do you like sours?
I do.
Okay.
Sometimes things are too tart for me, though.
Oh, God, smooth as silk. That is delicious. This drink is bananas good.
Wait, do you think you like that drink better?
I love them both. I could, like,
I like this one
crush
better.
that. This is more of, like, a sipper.
Yeah, this is crush.
Crush.
This
Put
is
me in
like-
front of a fire with maybe like a little poosh. What are they called?
A poof?
A poof, yeah. Put me in front of a fire with a poof and that.
Any one of these.
Okay,
This is good.
the true test though, we haven't even gotten into
Oh, yeah.
because we have to try our snacks.
We're
So
already so drunk.
that
going
is
straight for
delicious.
the ramen.
Of course, everyone and will. And just because of that, I'm gonna go for
Triscuit.
a mini Triscuit with like cluster of coconut stuck to it.
The lime.
The lime is so
lime.
important. And then you don't have to scare Aunt Martha with these crazy ramen noodles. Aunt Martha's gonna be like, that's something I know what it is. It's a peanut. You know, you're gonna be like, of course, I have something for everyone.
Oh, it's so fun.
One of the effects of the Sichuan peppercorn is that it creeps a little bit.
Yeah.
You know,
It's on the back of the mouth.
at the beginning it's like, oh, Then you eat your snack mix as one does. And then it's like, oh, what's that numbing feeling? So now try it with your drink.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it slaps.
The numbing is coming through in my bourbon tea.
Yes.
Vibes.
I'm not fighting with my relatives this year. No. Why would
We're
I?
taking this
Heck no.
upstairs. Selling sunset.
Yeah. And you just escape. Okay, so now for the brave, it's like,
What? That was the plan this whole time.
because everybody has a crazy uncle who's going to be like, nah, these are even not hot.
This is in a way like dessert.
Uh-huh.
This is like pre-party vibes.
I love that because
With
at the
the
end of the
mix.
night, you could have that, start things off on a high note, zippy, zesty,
Exactly.
frothy, and then you're still reclining after,
Yeah,
back to the poof,
exactly.
and it's like, oh, I have a drink for that too.
Yeah.
My instructions are to take us out, and my reality is that these drinks have taken me out.
I don't know where to go. Take me out.
So I'd like to remember what was happening at the beginning of this episode, and I guess from looking at this, I made this. And where it ended was with this, and these are two great things that go great together, just like
Us. You drink that when you want to make your day better.
yeah,
When do you drink that?
every day.
Every day, daily.
I was on
This
a
is like maintenance.
No,
kinda
I
washing your face,
Literally
brushing your teeth.
had strep throat and was on amoxicillin and was like, I remember a thing that you're not supposed to drink alcohol with.
Right.
Is it true? And I'm just like, is it true? And it turns out it actually does not interfere with
Doesn't
the
matter.
efficacy.
No, because
It-
they lie.
no, it's just gonna make you feel like shit.
Right.
But it's not gonna make the medicine work less well.
No.
And
Plus, if you have a cold, alcohol's kind of good, right?
yeah, it has vitamin C.
Right, and it kills stuff.
Exactly.